Hey everyone, this is Delmar with Mineral Report News. Today I wanted to talk to you about harassment and harassment in the workplace specifically. There's been a lot of news going on about sexual harassment with women, and usually their bosses are higher level executives that take advantage of their position. But I want to talk to you about some other kind of harassment that goes on. Um, First of all, I wanted to say there is no excuse for anyone that puts their hands on someone that is not wanting, that type of attention. There's no excuse for it. It's not okay. It's not acceptable, and it should be reported, especially in a workplace. It should not be tolerated. With that, I just wanted to say a couple of other things. So, um, with all of the news about, Al Franken, um, the Representative Conyers from the Democrat from Michigan, Roy Moore from Alabama, the Harvey Weinstein, and some of the other Hollywood executives with their harassment cases, going on with the accusations. I went and me and my partner would go to a chiropractor, and I thought of it. I'm like, I wonder if I've been harassed. I've been blessed with a big posterior region, or posterior, excuse me, and there have been so many times where I've gone to a club or, and wherever, and these women think that it's okay just to grab me by the butt, slap me on my behind. And, I honestly, like, I didn't think anything of it. I mean, normally I'm just so shocked, that it's like, oh my God, woo. But I never considered it sexual harassment. It was unwanted. I didn't want that attention, but I would have never until now even thought of it as sexual harassment. And so I thought about it on because I thought, well, how must these women feel, And remember what I said at the beginning. There's no excuse for anyone touching somebody or putting their hands on anyone in a way that is not welcomed. And especially at work, a boss shouldn't say, "Well, hey, if you want this raise, or hey, if you want this promotion, let's meet after work, and let's have drinks, or let's do this, or let's do that." Where it's inappropriate, obviously inappropriate. With that being said, I have worked, and I'm sure all of you have worked in places where there have been women, that wear short skirts and have their cleavage out, that fawn over, their bosses in a way that, garners that kind of attention. And so, what do you do when you're in that kind of environment? Where you have Susie Q over here that allows the boss to, do whatever he wants with her, and so she can get promoted. And then you have, Jane over here who works hard, is maybe even smarter than those above her, and that wants just her quality of work shown, as a means of moving up in the workplace. What do you do, And so you have all these different factors that are going on. And it seems like there's kind of like a double standard. And, again, it's not okay for anybody to touch anyone else, but nobody talks about, like what I just talked about, how, there are a lot of women out there that feel that it's okay for them to, touch men, kiss men, in order to gain their attention if they like them. But where does the line? Like me and my partner, we were talking. It's like, well, how do you when you like someone? Let's say it's outside work, and some people are very difficult to read. They're not extremely emotional, and so you may completely miss every sign that they like you. And so a lot of people are, proactive, and they may try to kiss them or, touch them or whatever, and it may be that the other person wants it. And so where do you draw the line? Are you just supposed to ask a person, every time, is it okay for me to do this? Is it okay for you to do that? I even talked to my mom about this, and she said she just thought it was crazy that, you know, um, it seems like everything, it's like it goes from one extreme to the other where, it's not okay and it's not acceptable for anyone to lay their hands on you or touch you inappropriately if it's not wanted. But can you say, do you give that person the opportunity before reporting them to say, hey, I'm not interested, please stop, don't do this, it's unwanted? Or, you know, right, the first time they're fired and, there's a big ordeal about it. I mean, where is the line with all of this? And I know I'm kind of everywhere with this, but these are the conversations that we, have been having, me and my family. And it just seems in general that everyone is just so touchy about everything. Like, it's like you can barely have conversations. I was on Facebook about 2 or 3 months ago, and I had made a comment. I live in Austin, Texas, and I made a comment how me and my partner, when we go down the lake, um, you see girls and they're in bikini tops and short shorts, tight clothes, and it's nighttime. There's no lights. They're by themselves. And it's like, well, why are you, not to say that your dress, the way you dress, should make you available for anyone to do anything inappropriate to you. But why would you put yourself out there? I'm scared of walking in that, in at night in certain areas that aren't lit by myself. And I'm a male. I'm afraid. And so, in a perfect world, you can say, well, hey, I should be able to do, X, Y, and Z and not have to worry about anyone touching me or fondling me or grabbing me or, doing anything that's not that I don't want. But first of all, you should be able to say, I don't want this. This is not what I want, and have that person to, at least give them the opportunity to respond. And secondly, you shouldn't put yourself in situations where you make yourself vulnerable for that, kind of, for that experience to even, happen. Of course, there are, men, women alike who, you could be dressed as a nun and they would still, try to do something inappropriate, because something's wrong with them. But I'm just, confused because I'm like, we have all of these different things going on at once. And, it seems that there are some women out there that don't want to take responsibility. They want to be able to do whatever and anything that they please, but not take responsibility for the actions that may occur. Now, this is not aimed at the person minding their own business at work and then they get fondled or touched or harassed inappropriately. This is not the person for the person walking down the street and is attacked by some random guy because they think they can do it. This is not for that person. But to those people that, their cleavage is hanging out, they're wearing these short shorts and short skirts, and, what kind of attention are you thinking that you're going to get by dressing that way or acting that way? Um, that's where my confusion lies. And, maybe because I'm a male, I don't know. That's why I wanted to talk about this and to just open up a conversation where, people aren't attacking each other, but are honestly having a discussion and trying to understand one another. I think one of the biggest problems in the society today is that we don't talk, people argue. And if you aren't on one side or the other, then something's wrong with you. It's like everybody's in their little corner on their extreme side, and there's nothing that is getting accomplished, nothing getting done, and it's just nerve-wracking. If we would just listen to each other and try to understand one another and try to come to, some sort of consensus and conclusion, and just have everything, you know, uh, uh, written out as to what's right, what's wrong, what is okay, what's not okay, even in the workplace. This isn't sexual harassment, but my last employer, I had horrible experiences with harassment. Um, you know, I I even remember, on the topic of sexual harassment, a young lady coming to me at work and telling me that one of the AVPs had sexually assaulted her. And I went to Human Resources and told them, and nothing was done. Nothing was done at all. And the human resource manager was a woman. And so there's another aspect for you. You have, women in powerful positions where someone, may come to them and make a complaint about someone else that's in a powerful position, and nothing's done. That other woman covers for the man that may be, guilty of assault or harassment. Um, so what do we do? Let's talk, you guys. Tell me what you think. Leave comments